Attention, Dallas Cowboys fans across Brazil. A true paradigm shift is happening right now behind the scenes at the Star in Frisco. If you've spent the last 10 years complaining that our front office treated the safety position with utter disdain in the market, that reality has just changed drastically and officially. The Dallas Cowboys have just consolidated the biggest and most aggressive overhaul of their secondary in decades, injecting a massive amount of money and draft capital to transform a historically neglected sector into the beating heart of the new defense led by defensive coordinator Christian Parker. And the epicenter of this seismic change is a name that has taken the world of college football by storm and now promises to dominate the NFL, Caleb Downs. Selected with the emblematic 11th overall pick in the first round of the 2026 draft, the phenomenon from Ohio State has already signed a fully guaranteed 4-year contract worth $28.9 million, including an impressive $17.5 million signing bonus. We're not talking about a typical roster addition. We're talking about the winner of the 2025 Lott Trophy and Jim Thorpe Award, a unanimous champion who arrives in the league with the status of a ready-made superstar. The impact is so immediate that it completely alters Dallas's strategic planning for the remainder of the year. The shock to the league was instantaneous, as very few analysts predicted that the front office would abandon its traditional bargaining stance to pursue the most dominant safety of the new generation. This urgent news not only redefines expectations for the 2026 season, but also places monumental pressure on the coaching staff, who now have elite players to assemble an aggressive scheme. How did this happen so quickly? The answer lies in the complete change in the franchise's internal philosophy, which had grown tired of falling short in the playoffs due to catastrophic failures in long pass coverage and run defense through the middle of the field. No one behind the scenes in the NFL expected Dallas to be Downs' final destination, and this aggressive move serves as a clear warning to rivals in the NFC East. The top of the division is the only acceptable goal. To understand the magnitude of this transformation, we need to analyze the second move that shocked the free agency market. The Dallas Cowboys broke their own financial rule and officially signed Jalen Thompson for a record amount in the franchise's recent era since the legendary signing of Deion Sanders. The contract was closed at an impressive $11 million per year, with $22 million fully guaranteed in a deal that could reach $36 million in total. Thompson brings an absurd versatility that the new tactical coordinator Christian Parker covets. He can play as a strong safety in the box, patrol the deep field as a free safety in too high coverage, or drop into the slot as a nickel corner. With this flexibility, the tactical plan designed for 2026 is fascinating. When Dallas is in its base formation with 4 defensive backs, the 2 undisputed starting safeties will be Jalen Thompson and rookie Caleb Downs. However, in the modern NFL, teams use the nickel formation in more than 70% of defensive snaps. That's exactly where the chessboard moves. Christian Parker plans to shift Caleb Downs to the nickel corner position in most of these situations, opening up space for veteran Malik Hooker to enter the backfield. It's a rich and changeable defensive dynamic aimed at neutralizing the league's most potent passing attacks. Before we delve into the consequences of this rotation and the fate of the players in the roster bubble, I want your direct participation in the comments section. Leave your like to strengthen journalism focused on America's team, and answer, what grade from A to F would you give the Dallas Cowboys' new safety room for this season? Leave your honest opinion below because your voice is fundamental to our community. The atmosphere in training in Frisco perfectly reflects this new era, with an intensity that hasn't been seen on the sidelines for a long time. The veteran players know that the level of demand has risen and that the margin for error has been reduced to zero under the new management. The reaction from those involved behind the scenes points to an environment of extreme competition. The arrival of new players has generated an immediate ripple effect on the former starters and backup players. The most emblematic case is that of Malik Hooker. The experienced defenseman accepted a substantial pay cut, reducing his earnings to $5 million this season, generating a $6.56 million impact on the team's salary cap. Going from being the main technical reference in the sector to the position of 3rd or 4th safety on the roster completely changes the level of expectation on Hooker. He no longer has the obligation to save the secondary alone and becomes a luxury worker in Christian Parker's system. On the other hand, the arrival of PJ Locke, formerly of the Denver Broncos, on a 1-year, $4 million contract adds even more fuel to this fire of competitiveness. Locke, who had moments of great impact in the 2024 season before losing playing time in 2025, brings valuable experience and tactical versatility, in addition to being an indispensable pillar for the special teams units. And it is precisely in the special teams that the most brutal battle of this training camp resides. With the definitive departure of veteran CJ Goodwin, the position of anchor and leader of the special teams is completely vacant. The direct competition is concentrated between Marquise Bell and the young Elijah Clark. Bell carries a delicate contractual burden. He has a dead money impact of $3.66 million, but a cut at this moment would generate an immediate savings of almost $1 million in cap space for the front office. The great strategic danger of letting go of Marquise Bell is the division market. Division rival Washington Commanders, now under the command of Dan Quinn, closely monitor the athlete's situation and would sign him immediately due to their mutual history. On the other side of the coin, Elijah Clark is an outsider with the support of physical performances last season, including that viral tackle in the special teams that is etched in the minds of the fans. It will be a pure best man wins the spot contest, where the distinct physical characteristics of both will dictate who survives the final cuts. The impact of this tactical revolution for the Dallas Cowboys goes far beyond the names printed on the jerseys. It completely redefines our balance of power within the NFC East and reshapes playoff projections. In recent postseasons, our franchise's Achilles heel has been the chronic inability to contain the running game of physical teams and the exposure of slow safeties and man coverage against elite wide receivers. By investing heavily in players like Caleb Downs and Jalen Thompson, the front office provides coach Christian Parker with the exact tools to neutralize vertical passing attacks and close inside running channels in the box. Statistically, the projection is that Dallas will jump to the top of the NFL's most efficient passing defenses. Furthermore, the depth of the defense has gained interesting names for the long-term future, such as Zion Childress, who spent last season playing in the slot at Kentucky and now returns to his original safety role, and the young Julius Wood, who seeks redemption in the preseason after spending time with the Tennessee Titans practice squad. These deep rotation players will be crucial in maintaining a high physical pace in the final quarters of games, when fatigue often punishes the league's less deep defenses. The internal message in the AT&T Stadium locker room is clear. The period of excuses is over. The financial investment has been made, the young talent has been drafted, and the tactical scheme has been modernized. If you want to continue following every detail of this epic journey to the top of American football, don't waste time. Subscribe to the channel now, activate the notification bell, and share this content with the largest Cowboys fan community in Brazil. Stay tuned because we will be live covering every snap of the preseason. Given everything that has been structured by the management, the final question for each fan to reflect on is this. Is this historic overhaul of the safety position the missing element to finally take the Dallas Cowboys back to the Super Bowl? Or are we about to witness another year of frustrated expectations in the postseason?